Hello everyone, welcome to aiTest Overview. aiTest is a unified release QA platform powered by AI Copilot where you can test any application type. It's web app, mobile, data, cloud, API, or even your ML and AI models for functional, visual, as well as performance quality goals. This is what you can do here. Let me quickly jump onto URL test to showcase the easiest feature to get started with. And then I'll jump onto maybe Automation Copilot, talk about how it is helping generate code faster and making the testing a breeze. And then I'll end with how to test a model performance. So start with URL health. It is as simple as you providing a tester name, say test TR, which is the AI assistant for quality X. And let's be in the let's change the project to TR so that everything remains there. And then description can be again test TI, URL can be https qualityx.io, and then if you just have to click run it. And if you want to, select extra browser instances versions, you can do that here and click it and run it now. For the preview time, I have already run it, so let me quickly jump onto the earlier run where you'll see that it shows a bubble graph of all the browsers where it has taken more time, less time, where it has been successful. And you can see the summary of it. For one of the browser, it failed, Firefox 105. I can click on it. I can see the report, why it failed. I can filter on pass fail individual, instances. I can see what's the reason it timed out. Now this is something I can assign my developers to look into. So this is how, quickly you understand the health of your, application. You can make it run in continuous fashion in your CI/CD pipeline by just copying the run ID. Now let me move to Automation Copilot, which is basically a place where you can generate your UI or API automation code. Now we have embedded market leading frameworks and programming languages, and it supports many programming languages and frameworks today. For API, we are going to generate the code in Karate-based framework. Again, you give us some name to it, some name, and then some feature description, ask TR, UNA, and then you have to upload an R file, which is nothing but your HTTP request archive, and you can just browse your user interface and then generate an R file which you upload. I have already an R file here, so I've copied it here somewhere. So yeah, let me upload it here and then click on upload. And then once it is uploaded, I can click on generate feature file, which is nothing but it is generating the code for me. Now you can see that automation has been generated successfully. You can save the automation and then download the automation code. And the automation code that got downloaded is something like this. You can give it some name. And let me show you the code quickly for understanding that it got generated. Where refactor. And you can see this is the code that got generated. Now, as a QA engineer and an automation engineer, if you think there has to be some changes that has to be made, do it. Once you're done, save it, download this feature file. In my case, I'll not make any change for now. I'll directly go to aiTest. I'll go to API automation. Click here. I'll say create a test run for me, where I'll provide any ask TR API run, and then I can test it for load or I can test it for individual APIs. Just for example, I'm testing for 10 user, 10 minutes with 5 initial user, and every 1 minute user is getting added. This is a pattern how the users will get added and come to 10 users. I'll say next, and I'll say what are the input. I'll provide automation details, and here it is nothing different than the code that got generated. It should be here in my files. I'll load it quickly. Now here you give a command to run it. I'm using a Maven based framework, so I'll say mvn clean test and then say run it now. You can see that it takes a time to run because it's a 10 minutes duration run. So let's look at the earlier run that I have. And here you can see that, the test took 220 seconds per 60 page failed. I can click on each of the bubble to understand why it failed. I can look at analytics and then understand what happened, then work on it. Now let's move to the last piece of it, the ML testing. In the world of ML testing, the two things important is, the test data against which you'll test your model, and then the model itself that has to be tested. Now, the test data generation is something that's very critical of aiTest. We have tried to simplify it so that even keyword doesn't have to understand the ML model deeply. They don't have to really become an ML engineer. They can pass on the sample, input data and sample category data, and then give some name to it, and then generate, and it will generate something like this. It will generate different, data sets for you to test. This is a sample data set for malform data. This is the data generated for anomalies data. As a SME, you come here, you look at the data, you edit it or delete it, and this becomes your golden copy. Now, which is we tested against your model. You go to model test run, and then you select the data that you just generated and say, hey, this data is generated, and then provide it with model endpoint and other details, and then run it. And this is some previous run that I had done. So once you look at the data, you can see that, hey, this is the generated output and this is the prediction. This is their matching, which is good. So wherever there's an anomaly, you can look at it. You can look at the accuracy precision we call F1 scores. You can look at confusion matrix, class interval, quality matrix by class, and then take a qualitative decisions based on this. With this, I'll take a pause. If you have any more questions, please feel free to write at support@qualityexpert.io. Thanks for watching.